evening, Spike Nation. Welcome to episode 11 of the Spike Nation podcast. I'm your host, Jordan Campos, aka Fortylicks. Joining me, as always, is my lovely co-host, Mr. Trenton Ty, Purgatory Ironworks.
Hello, everybody.
Joining me also in the Spike Nation studios, please welcome back his triumphant return, Bannik!
Hello, everyone.
Oh, hello, Bannik. We've missed you and your soft, sultry voice.
Oh, yes.
Trent, I know you miss Bannik.
You know, and I do miss Bannik's voice because he reminds me of the Norse guy that does the video game reviews, the latest in Viking technology.
Ah.
You know what you probably love about Bannik?
yeah, that's the one.
Did you see the sniper shotgun?
The latest in goddamn Viking technology. Bam, eat that. It's fucking wonderful.
It was amazing.
Also, Trent, you probably love Bannik because he's probably not going to serenade you in song this week.
That's wonderful.
But me and Bannik have a big surprise for you. No, I'm just kidding. We're not actually singing to you this week.
I wish.
Oh, I wish. So, guys, first, Bannik, we haven't heard from you in quite so long. How have you been, buddy?
Working, busy, the whole shebang.
Mm-hmm. Those tricks ain't gonna pull themselves.
No,
you gotta get out on the street.
Yeah.
You gotta make money.
Yeah, I gotta get the cheese in.
Oh, cheese. Oh, Trent, I don't know if you've ever dabbled in the art of smoking some marijuana from time to time, but I'm sure you're American. You can. I'm sure you know people that have dabbled. Have you ever heard it called cheese? Is this foreign to you?
Well, I mean, of course, here in America, cheese is actually a word that comes from the black community. I mean, for money. That's the only context I've ever heard that. Now, I mean,
I have heard that.
I mean, kush and all that kind of stuff, but I've never heard cheese applied to marijuana.
Now, you're on, who is that guy? The who the fuck?
Neophyte.
Neophyte. So you're on the Neophyte. You haven't heard marijuana referred to as cheese. It's weird. I have heard it in both. I've heard it referred to as cheese, and I've heard it referred to a certain strand called cheese. But I don't think it's far-fetched to say that if there is a strand called cheese, that someone might refer to it as cheese. Now, Neon was not getting that point.
I mean, he was asking me to prove it online. I did that, and then he was asking me, that's not big enough. It has to have upwell.
Well,
it doesn't make
it's
sense.
Never good enough.
I mean, the whole point of it is you can't, unless you have a shop, you have no idea what you're buying, right?
Mm-hmm.
So unless you say, I want this, and unless you can test it, there's no way else. So most of the time when you go to someone and say, I want cheese, you're basically saying, I want the stinky good stuff.
Yeah, if I went to my guy and I said I don't want cheese, I don't think he'd have any confusion about what I was going to buy.
Yeah,
and we're just trying to throw a point out there quick in the podcast that Neon, you're an idiot and you have no clue what you're talking about, but we respect your opinion.
Exactly. The whole thing is like saying the whole world has to recognize slang terms. I'm pretty certain the whole point of slang is it's located into certain small groups just using them. So it just Anyway, so let's continue.
This was very upsetting to us, Trent. Me and
apparently.
Bannik, we've been getting into it on the pages. We've been getting into so many fights about cheese.
It's not even that. It's just I've noticed lately on Spike, people have been getting so pissy and so annoying at the minor things. Somebody doesn't something properly.
You know why? Because we need K-Dog to come back and give our lightning rod of
hate.
Of things to hate, once K-Dog leaves, we just start hating on each other.
Well, look here, and it's perfectly fair, because here's the deal. One, everybody's a keyboard warrior. So, again, you don't know who's 18 and under. And not to be ugly to you 18 and under, it's just the fact that most people at 18...
fuck these people.
Well, I mean, they do, like I said...
They grew up with an Xbox 360 as their first gaming console.
Exactly. Yeah, I know, we're getting fucked up.
Yeah, fuck them.
But here's the deal. What they say, all politics are local. And so, I mean, literally, here we are spread out across the world, and we have very local contexts. Now, I mean, even mine. I mean, the entire appeal of what I do is that I'm in this tiny little backwood area, and we still do things like, the legend of the fucking swamp.
The right way, Trent. The right way. The way it should be done. Trent, you're a professional. Don't undersell yourself.
Hey, again, and look here. I mean, there's some weird shit that goes on out there. It just happens to be we got seated where we are.
What's that, what's the, I think you told me it maybe a couple episodes ago. What's the Bigfoot down there? The
Sasquatch?
The Sasquatch, but there's a different name for it, like the one in the swamp. Maybe that's Florida. It's called like the Okeechobee or something like that.
Okeechobee.
Okeechobee.
Okay, all right. Now here's a fun fact for those of you not local. Most of our place names are still based off of the old Native American words. So we have the creeks and things like that. Seminole, of course, everybody is familiar. There's a lake there. Then there's the Okefenokee. The local rivers here are the Chickasawhatchee and the Itchaway-Notchaway. So
yeah, I have that Kennewaukee right by me.
Yeah, we got cool words for that shit.
That's some badass words, man. I'm thinking about changing my gamer tag, you know.
Chickawawaki.
Chickawawaki.
Chickasawhatchee.
That's going to make Chickasawhatchee. Well, Trent, we were discussing last week a little device called the Oculus Rift.
Right.
And I thought we settled it last week. I thought we were like, this is bullshit. Fuck this thing. It's a gimmick. That's basically the synopsis of if you listen to last week. But as soon as we post the podcast, the biggest news in gaming history happens, and that is that Facebook buys the Oculus Rift for $2 billion.
Thought it was Google.
No, it's Facebook.
Whatever. They're all part of the Prism
plan,
it
was Facebook.
Right? Alex Jones says it, so it must be true. But you know, I see this as probably the best thing for Oculus because I really wasn't seeing a full gaming sort of aspect on it. I wasn't sold quite on the gaming, but I'd be more sold on it just being a all-around VR device, maybe not meant for gaming, but maybe for, you know, social interactions with your friends and stuff like that. Trent, what do you think about this Facebook acquiring, or Google? I'm not sure. I think it's Facebook.
You know, I am still, unfortunately, still firmly in the bullshit zone with this one.
I agree.
I mean, because, again, it's just like 3D movies. It's a fucking gimmick. But when they put 3D out, okay, they did so, and here, now this is in the States. Okay.
This was like 3D. People forget 3D movies have been around since like the late 50s. Like, to be honest, it's not new technology shit going on.
It's not, but what they did is when the major motion picture groups here, they forced all of these theaters to upgrade to these insanely expensive digital projectors.
Yeah, I actually was working at AMC Theaters. I don't mind saying it because they're fucking dicks. And we were in AMC Palisades Center, one of the biggest theaters in my county. And we had to transition 21 theaters, full 21 theaters, from analog projectors to digital projectors. And those things are massive, and they cost about like $350,000 a pop.
Wow.
Yeah. And again, and the thing is now, and again, it's one of those situations where a lot of our local theaters, understand that we've got a theater that sits like a maximum of like 50 people, and the tickets to it are $2. Okay, I mean that's one. No shit. It's just
mine was 500 seats, and the tickets were $13.50.
You know, but again, here's the situation of why. You know, I cannot say
piracy
that I want. Well, again, but no, because it's still in 2D. You know, it's still absolutely in 2D. And again, there is no particular purpose for that end of it outside of being a gimmick because it's not a more enjoyable experience. And there are some people that like it, but the vast majority of people are not 3D people. It's a gimmick. And look here, the Oculus Rift is cool. I mean, from the footage that I have seen, it is a pretty awesome thing. But again, my question is, you know, it would have to be, and again, this may be a future thing. I'm not saying that it cannot progress. But when I play Battlefield, there's no fucking way that my game is going to be enhanced by being able to turn my head left and right.
By being able to throw up while you play.
Yeah, you know, if I look at the sniper, that bastard in the tower, and he fucks me up, it's not going to improve my gameplay if I get to look over my shoulder at him putting a bullet in my ass, as opposed to me staring straight ahead and seeing it through my monitor.
The best thing I could see happening with a device like the Oculus Rift, and there might be some cool games. Listen, I'm not going to... It's up to developers to really figure out how to do it. But I think it's going to have a more impact in our lives, like maybe medically or scientifically. Like, the Xbox Kinect has been useless for me, but apparently doctors around the world use it to do like open heart surgery from their living room. So I could see an Oculus Rift device, you know, you could be in fucking Thailand operating on somebody in Georgia, and you know, with this Oculus Rift you'd be able to look at all the surroundings and maybe operate a machine. I mean, like, it has more you know, viable aspects of it than just games.
You know, I hate to point this out, and of course being the American here, but the real, if you were to hand me that piece of technology and to ask me where it would be most effective, again, I hate to be the one to point this out, but can you imagine if you had a drone that had this ability, that had this technology in it to where a pilot, again, sitting thousands of miles away, would be a. Well, I mean, you're getting to a point of an unmanned front line.
Yeah, do they have that already? Don't they have that F-16 fighter helmet that cost like $3.2 million for the American government to make? And it doesn't do exactly what you're saying, Trent.
I think a helicopter does it as well. There's a stealth helicopter with a helmet.
Yeah, but the pilot has to be in the cockpit. They haven't figured it out where he can be remotely. But it's to basically give him an open view, like he's sitting in a Wonder Woman's plane.
Right.
So it's like when he's in the cockpit, he's not going to see the metal and all the instruments. He's basically just going to see an open, like he's floating in the air.
Which is kind of badass. Here's the problem with me. I love technology. So for me, this is gold. Oculus Rift looks amazing. And I think Trent pointed out the reason why Facebook bought them is you cannot do much with games. Most people are not going to use it for gaming. That's why Facebook acquired it, gave them $2 billion, and now there must probably going to be more opportunities. I can actually see it being used to like, I don't know, see a concert or maybe a relaxation thing, or for somebody who's disabled, going to the beach or something, or elderly people being able to communicate or play, bingo, for crying out loud, with all your friends in the same room.
I love bingo, man. Yeah. People knocking on bingo.
I think that's the only reason Facebook bought it, because they know that the gaming aspect isn't going to be...
very minor. Yeah. No, I agree with you, Bannik. I really do think that Facebook has bigger plans.
And I think the whole thing with the technology, I think it's great that it's getting to the point. I actually want everyone to have chips in their heads and connect online. That would be for me heaven.
But I'll tell you what, right there, and I was just about to say that, because really and truly, the end point of all these convergent pieces is the fact that at some point somebody is able to do, and my God, I'm going back to the Shadowrun days, to be able to jack into the system.
Is that the Genesis game?
Oh God,
no! It's an RPG game.
It's
pen
an
and paper.
RPG, baby. It's way back.
Yeah, no,
it's Dungeons and Dragons. It's like Dungeons and Dragons.
It was set like in a New Jack sort of city future. The guy had like a black trench coat.
Right? It was like Trolls with digital gear. I mean, that
basically,
was
take Dungeons.
They made a sequel to it. They kickstarted a sequel like last year, maybe. Maybe I'm thinking of a different game.
Yeah, they did actually start a new sequel.
Yeah. No, I played it. I know what you're talking about. It had like RPG elements where you can make a character, and it was like sort of futuristic, but with like magical powers.
It came out with rifts too. So I mean, but the flavor is the fact that what this device is, in itself is really not it's just a component, because at the end of the day, what we want is something. I mean, the real money here is for automated workers or things of this nature. Where if you're going into our little Wally units that go bomb disposal. What if there is a robot there? Whatever flavor, but the operator has complete sensory involvement into it as if they were there. And the joy behind that, just like with the drones, is the fact that you can train a pilot. You invest all this time and all this money into this person, and if they get shot down, you lose that entire investment. But if you send a drone into the place and the drone gets destroyed, you still retain the skill of the pilots, and you don't have to worry about that frontline casualty. Again, this is a warfare flavor, but like the doctors, if you've got the best surgeon in the world that's in England and there's a surgery that needs to be performed in America, he can step into, or again, plug his ass into his computer from his house and perform this surgery. That is where these technologies are going, and that's where they should go, and that's kind of that's the end goal here.
Trent. Well, Bannik, we got to take a quick break,
no problem,
and we'll come back to you. Well, I want to hear your words, Bannik. I'm not trying to shut you up. All right, I'm not Neon. All right, I want to hear you talk.
Yeah, let's go.
But Spike, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with you with more Oculus talk with Trent and Bannik. Hold on one second. Welcome back, Spiked Nation. I know we were talking a little Oculus Rift, but something very important came up. We're actually having a special guest in the Spike Nation studios. Please welcome, for his first time on the Spike Nation podcast, you know him, guys. Please welcome Spike the Legend.
Special guest.
Oh, man.
Wow.
Bannik, I said you had the most beautiful voice before, but I'm going to have to...
I'm giving the title away.
Yeah, you just do it willingly. You should Bushido yourself in the corner because your voice is just an embarrassment compared to.
Hey, get it right before somebody flames us out. It's seppuku. It's not Bushido.
Oh, sorry.
Jesus Christ, you uneducated fucking heathens.
Oh, man, all right. It's this New York education program. It's not my fault, man, all right? I went to community college, all right, Trent? God damn
way
it.
of life. Killing himself.
Well, Spiked, welcome to the Spike Nation podcast.
Thank you.
We're so honored to have you here.
I'm honored to be on it, finally.
Well, you know what? There's been a sort of revolution in Spiked of posting original content. And you've been one of the, pioneers of this. So why don't you give us a little background of your music experience? Where did all these videos and songs come from that you've been posting lately?
These videos come from, I just came across this folder of songs that I've been working on that somehow survived during a time when I switched over computers. I mentioned this in the description of something or in a comment, but I lost a whole bunch of shit except for what's in that folder.
And what time frame is this? Is this early 2000s?
Early
mid
2000s, yes, about 2002.
So this is back before it was easier to transfer files. If your computer busted, it was done.
Yeah, you had to do the whole USB and not the USB, the Ethernet. What setting was that?
This was prior to
serial cable.
Yeah, you had. Yeah, it was very easy to have a disaster if you weren't very very versed with computers, which I wasn't at the time. And
well, we're so glad that you averted disaster, and now we have your lovely music to listen to, and also the Spike Nation theme song.
Oh man. Yeah.
So why don't you tell us in the audience? How did you get into this? Is this something you went to school for? Is this something you just did on your own?
No.
Do you have a lot of friends that you do this with?
That's exactly what it was. I had a bunch of friends who were in hip hop groups or doing solo stuff, and I used to always be around it and just enjoy watching and just being there for the process. But I've always felt like.
Oh, you got that apartment right next to the airport, right?
Yep,
Hey, listen, I'm not knocking. If I could live, if you could knock $20 off my rent, I'd live right next to a magnet.
No, what it is, they found oil under his apartment. That's a drone.
Yeah, that's the Oculus Rift drone. Someone's taking that. Oh man.
Here's a question: what made you want to post it on Spiked? Before all the praise and all the amazing music you gave out, just what made you want to post it?
The very first video that I posted?
Yeah, the very first Spiked original content you did. Yeah.
So what made you post?
There was someone else. There was someone else who did the same thing, and it made me think. Why don't I just go ahead and just share some of my stuff?
I'm way better than this guy. Yeah.
Wow, thanks. What's funny is I've considered it for a while, and then I was like, fuck it, I'm not gonna have these. How we have some dumbasses.
It's hard. It's hard posting original content to Spike. Trust me. I'm sure Purgatory Ironwork knows this too. You could put a couple hours into something, and you really think it's good, and you really think some people are going to enjoy it, and then 2 seconds after you fucking post it, 1 star, and you're like, God damn you, Spike! Did you even fucking listen to it?
He didn't actually watch the video, but he just click 1 star.
Someone did that to Trent, and I took it very personally.
I don't like that either.
Because Trent is a very nice and respectable man, and I know he finally tunes his craft specifically for Spike Nation, and for someone just to give him a 1 star 2 seconds after he posts a lovely video for us, shame on you, Spike Nation.
Let me chime in here because I started in Spike. I keep going Spike. Look, what's your name, brother?
My real name?
Yeah.
My real name is
Anthony?
Yeah.
All right. Well, like I said, my name's Trent. Like I say, because I keep hearing Jordan start saying Spike, and I get confused.
Well, yeah, we talked. Me and Anthony talked a little bit before the show. Listen, we all want. This is Spike Nation first and foremost, and we don't want our. I asked him. What do you want me to call you? You want me to call you Anthony? You want me to call you Spike Legend or Bing Dong McKenzie?
What did I say?
You said call you Big Dong Mackenzie.
Why didn't you call him Big Dong Mackenzie, man?
Listen. The guy said call me Spiked afterwards. Like whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, well, no. Well, I'm sorry, Alex. I was just I didn't mean to out you or anything.
No,
so
you didn't out me. I wouldn't mind. I mean, I don't mind people knowing my first name.
I don't think if the internet found out his name was Anthony, the whole world's gonna call.
Right. I was just saying go by Spike Legend because people would know who I was.
I'm tattooing Anthony on my thigh right now.
Huh?
I'm tattooing his name right now on my arm, gangster style.
But no, man. here's kind of the big thing because even Anthony's hesitation right there. You guys have got to understand something. I'm kind of unique in all this because everybody on Spike Nation knows who I am and what I'm about. Everybody's seen my fucking shop. People around the world have been inside my shop, and let me tell you, there is.
But only a lucky few have been inside you.
Well, yeah, another damn truth. So I'm a high dollar, baby. But no, it really is kind of spooky because here's the deal. When you, and Anthony, you certainly understand this, is when you put something out there, whether it's a video of
Trent does what he wants. You'll find that out on this podcast.
Well, what I'm saying there, Big Dong, is that... Well, no, when you put out there, like I said, no matter if 100 people watch your stuff, most of us would be thrilled if 60 of them like it, and 30 of them don't care, and 10% are just bastards that either just ill-suited or have no interest. And the problem is that means when you blow that up to, several thousand people looking at your stuff, that means there's a couple of hundred that just would soon piss on you, and let me tell you, we're used to anytime that somebody offers you a compliment when you do this stuff, you really kind of get immune to those compliments. You shouldn't, but let one person tell you that you're a cocksucker and you remember that bash. Look here.
That happens a ton with Spiked, is that I find that people necessarily don't hate the content that you post,
they hate you.
But you might have gotten into an argument with them 3 years ago. Like, Spike Legend, I don't remember specific arguments, but I remember probably having a disagreement with you over the last 4 years I've been with this. But it doesn't mean that I will ever vote your content 1 star because we had a disagreement back. But that, people aren't as mature as we are.
My God, do any of you remember Nova?
Oh my
wow.
Maybe.
Okay, all right. So like I said, this is the deal. This guy hated me. This is when I first started putting content in some 4 or 5 years ago. I mean, this guy, and I don't know why to this day, but he was so vitriolic. I know that's big word for a Southerner.
I can tell you exactly why. It's because they're not doing what you're doing, and it's this sort of.
It's sad.
You have to turn the camera towards you, and when. I had the same, because I can relate, there was a couple of original content videos that weren't bad at all, but for some reason I was like, I don't like these people. And I figured it out. It was my own insecurities. It was me going, well, I don't like these people because I'm not brave enough to fucking post my own content or try to provide entertaining content. And it was my own insecurities, and people need to grow the fuck up and realize that this is the way the world works, all right? People are going to put the best foot forward, and if you don't ever put your best foot forward, you can't say shit to them.
Right.
Yeah.
I think we all should start this, we should get this trend really going as far as people posting original content.
I'm rolling the dice, man. I was inspired by Trent donating his helmet to Spiked Nation.
That's what started, huh?
That's what made me want to post a video. Well, the whole K-Dog fight, I posted a video giving away my Nintendo. I actually mailed that out to Thunder Salmon earlier this week. You should be getting it today. So Thunder Salmon, if you're listening, please do like a little, I didn't put anything fun in it, but please do like an unboxing and plug it in and give us like a little view of my Super Mario game that you're going to enjoy for the next lifetime. But yeah, there has been a revolution since I posted that first video and since we got the podcast going of original content, and I love it. And I especially love the music that you post, Anthony.
Thank you.
Yeah. No, seriously, your music is top notch. I mean, like I said, you sound like Guru.
Wow.
You do.
Wow. That's the biggest compliment ever. I appreciate that.
People who don't know, Guru is a good,
gangster.
I wanna say rapper, but I wanna call him a musician because that's what he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he made like 10 albums, and he made work with lots of jazz artists. Yes,
and
that's
DJ Premier.
Yeah, well, that's he passed away, I think, not long ago.
Yeah, he did. He passed away, I think, like 3 years ago.
Yes, and Trenton, come on, man, the guy's he creates life with metal.
Right.
We've got a person who takes something that looks like crap from like heaven, and then turns it into some. Have you seen his? Have people seen his work? Go on his website. His work is amazing. It's top notch. I'm so nice to you guys because when you guys are famous and rich.
Yeah, Bannik, can I hire you just to like follow me around and just give me compliments throughout the day? Oh, Jordan, you're so great. Your cock's so big. Oh my God. Like, thank you, Bannik. You make me feel very good.
Hey, everybody needs a Bannik in their life.
Yeah, but I mean, seriously,
there's only one Bannik, all right?
I came to this.
The
only reason I came to this website, Spike Nation, is because of the people. The content originally, Spike Nation for me was science videos, animation, and classic stuff.
I came because of video of a squirrel getting launched in a catapult.
You see,
that was a great video.
So you guys,
dude, I still remember that video. It was the first time I heard Jane's Addiction been caught stealing, and it was a video of these kids. And what they did was they tied like rubber bands to like a laundry basket and put peanuts in it. And then when the squirrel came in the laundry basket, they cut the rubber bands. Shit went flying across the room, and it was the funniest thing I've ever seen.
My exposure was back when the BitTorrent days first started out. It was Torrent Spy. When I'd go look for my torrents and down the side.
A lot of people said that's where they found it from.
There was a baby running, and I guess one of the parents is following the baby with the camera, and the baby just starts to trip, and he's about to like fall really bad for a baby, and then it cuts, and it says, "See what happens next at spiketumor.com," and like you were there because there was no YouTube, there was no site for that.
Oh man. Wait, Bannik, are you breaking up again? Bannik, this wouldn't be a podcast if Bannik didn't break up in audio.
Drone strike got him.
Yeah. Oh man. So hold on, Bannik. Let's see if we can reestablish connection without calling you back. So Bannik, you there? Okay, so we're gonna have to call Bannik back, which is good because we have to take a little break anyway, and then we'll come back. We'll wrap it up. We'll talk to Anthony some more. We'll talk to Trent about
keep calling me Anthony.
Oh, shut up, you bastard! All right, it's hard saying Spike Legend. All right, when we do a podcast about Spike Nation, we'll call you Ant.
Ant, all right.
All right.
Or Anthos.
How about Anthos? I like that. Anthos. We'll call you.
I go by when I'm rapping.
All right, Anthos. All right, Trent, Bannik. We'll call you right back, guys. Keep listening, and we'll be right back with the Spike Nation podcast. Welcome back, Spike Nation. I'm here with Bannik, Trent, and Anthos. You know him as Spike Legend. So, I don't even remember what we were discussing. And Bannik, of course, disconnected. So we're back with Bannik.
Hey.
Bannik, say hi again.
Hello, everyone.
Prove that you're here.
Right. El Guerrero is a cunt. And full
El
auto.
Guerrero.
Yeah, that's his name, El Guerrero.
Full auto, suck it.
Yeah, he can.
Perfect. So, we're reaching the home stretch of the Spike Nation podcast. We talked to Anthos about his background in music. So we were talking to Anthos about how you lost all your files and you posted original content.
That tragic story.
Now, do you have any good stories regarding music or the industry, or maybe a gig that you did, or maybe meeting an artist? Any good thing that you could dish out to the Spike Nation audience?
Maybe meeting an artist. Are you talking about music in general, or just?
I'm just talking about filler. All right.
Okay.
I got 10 minutes to kill, and
okay.
I want a good story, Anthos. Let's do it. I don't care if you make it up. I don't care if you say anything.
No, this is I can actually finish answering someone's question that I'm talking to on one of the posts about Jennifer Lawrence behind the scenes of the Oscars.
I'll take anything, Jennifer Lawrence.
And so I was having this conversation with him, with a few people about how she seems so cool and everything. And I actually worked with her before she was famous.
Now she's a young girl. How many years ago was this?
This was 2009. She was 18.
So Jennifer Lawrence, I would say she's like, maybe I'm a little older than her, so she's probably like
22, 23.
20, yeah.
Yeah.
So we're talking when she was like 18 or 19, right?
Yes.
So prime Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah.
So speak more, Anthos.
Eagle.
You've got us all
as-
hanging on the edge of our
as
seats
I was
already.
telling him,
19-year-old Jennifer Lawrence.
There were days when I was fully in charge of her. Like I would have to go and pick her up from her hotel room, drive her for like 35, 40 minutes to the set.
Bannik.
And
It's your gig.
And
that'd be great if Bannik like steals like your driver's cap and just poses it to you. Just
but I mean, like
Miss
I'm
Lawrence.
spending the entire day. The entire day is with me being like no more than 5 feet away from her.
Did you fall in love, Anthos?
Nah, she was just a kid, but she was.
Yeah. Oh, I hear you.
But she was very, very, just like how she seemed in the interviews and on TV and
like
stuff.
Cool.
Oh man, she was so
Seems
cool.
like the kind of chick that when she farts, she likes to smell it. Which I don't know if I'm turned on by it.
You're right.
I respect it.
You're right.
I definitely respect it.
I can definitely picture her doing something like that.
like a little toot, and then like pulling the
Yeah, like
blanket
she
over
just
her
does not give a
Dutch oven.
She doesn't. She's one of those kind of chicks that just does not give a fuck.
Like
you're eating your sandwich, and it looks good. She'll come up and take your sandwich or take a bite of it and hand it back while you.
Do I get to take a bite out of her?
Man.
Actually, I'm not this creepy in real life.
You are.
I'm sounding really creepy over the Spike Nation podcast, but she's a celebrity, all right?
Yeah, it's true.
So,
So,
go ahead.
I'm
Bannik.
just thinking that Anthos now is basically he's a semi-celebrity now.
Oh, he's not even semi-celeb. He's just basically a
I
celebrity.
wanted to.
I'm a
Do you
celebrity.
have?
He's the Jay-Z of Spike Nation,
Yeah.
you know?
Do you have anything planned, as in more music? Maybe you're gonna make something for Spike.
I don't, man. I wish.
He's at least honest.
I would love
dude,
to.
I'm fucking lazy right now.
Well, it's not lazy. I mean, back when I did that stuff, to make that music, like to make the beats, it would come to me like really quickly, and I could like pretty much have the whole beat within like an hour or less.
Now, a lot of artists say they get all their good ideas in the shower. Do you get all your good ideas in the shower, Anthos?
Nah, I would get all my good ideas from the.
See,
that's how I got the idea for the Spike Nation rap.
From a bowl,
and we all know how good that turned out.
From a bowl. You see, he's one of us.
From a bowl or a bottle or something.
Oh, I like
my writing. I was always.
Yes, I like it better. You need to come over to New York, all right?
Well,
but
we got the
I mean,
out here.
What about the band?
What about the band?
Yeah.
Okay,
has
so
anyone contacted you?
This is why I don't do it anymore. You asked me earlier, I think. Maybe
did one of them have like a really bad coke problem, and you had like
no. We acquired a manager, and this manager was working very hard for us, and he got us this gig. He was a USC alumni, so he had access to all the students pretty much that went to USC. He got us this big gig with like 4 people from record labels that were there to see us, and he packed the place for us. Well, we were supposed to go on at 9 o'clock. 8:30, my guitarist and my DJ are still not there, so I'm starting to freak out. The place is packed. It went off exactly how we wanted it to go off. 8:45, they're still not there. I call him. I'm like, because Daryl had he's my guitarist. He had a pickup truck, so he was going to pick up my DJ and his equipment. 8:45, he's like, I'm on my way over to Wish Boogie's house now to pick him up. 9 o'clock arrives. We're supposed to be on at 9 o'clock.
Wait, I don't want to glance over this real quick. Wish Boogie?
Wish Boogie.
Greatest thing I've ever heard.
A little Filipino guy who had the
Need not say more.
Yeah.
Need not say more. I don't want to ruin my vision of what Okay, continue. Sorry.
Okay, so 9 o'clock rolls around, and everybody's freaking out. The bar, the guy who ran the bar, my manager, my friends. So I call him, 9 o'clock, I'm like, dude, where the hell are you guys? He's like, man, I'm at Wish Boogie's house, and he just now got in the shower. I'm like, you're fucking kidding me.
You don't need to take a shower. Like, you're getting ready to go up on stage.
And then had to drive over. It's like a 20-minute drive. So they finally get there, and
is this after 9 by the time we all show up?
Yeah, it was like 10-something.
Oh, did they what like, you're supposed to perform. Like, what do they do? Did they have, like, Carrot Top come out and do, like, prop comedy or something?
You mean in the meantime?
Yeah, like, like not everyone's going to sit in an auditorium for an hour just waiting.
In the meantime, we played some good, like, Jamiroquai or some shit like that while my saxophonist played along to it, walked around the place with the sax. But by the time they got there was only my friends. And not that many of my friends came out that night. So
horrible.
Yeah.
Wasted out. So Whoosh Boogie.
Right. So we do the show. Yeah,
Anthos
fuck you,
could
Whoosh
be
Boogie.
chilling right now in a huge coke party, but no, Whoosh Boogie had to hop in the shower.
God,
So we do the show. After the show was over, when it came time for us to get paid, the bar owner didn't want to pay us the full amount. He's like, "We lost so much business because of you guys. You guys were supposed to go on at this time. The place was packed. Everybody left because you guys didn't go on." So he pays us, and Whoosh Boogie has the audacity to say, as I'm paying him less, he has the audacity to say, "Well, I came out for this amount." He goes, "We agreed upon this amount. It doesn't matter that I'm late." And obviously, as you can imagine, there was a big...
Tell that to any job. It doesn't matter.
Trent, have you finished that spear for ball killing?
Yeah, I have.
I think Anthos might
we have
use
to stop
it.
by Whoosh Boogie's house.
Yeah.
Your
Kill this
airboat.
dude, right?
Is
we had this
it
we had
legal
this big
to stab a
argument for
Filipino?
everybody.
Is it not? Come on.
Richard Pryor always said
I
it was
think
like
you get
code
arrested
6
for not stabbing a
black
Filipino.
It was like a code 7 to hurt Asians.
Right.
By the way, those Filipinos are like the craziest Asians you can get. You know how many political shootings happen in
you don't
the
want to fuck with
Philippines
those guys.
every year? Like
It's
fuck
true.
that. Like even running for office in the Philippines is like the worst thing you could do because you just get like assassinated every other day.
So speaking of politics, I know we're running out of time.
Yeah, Trent, I love it. That's why you're the co-host. You know when we're running out of time. So
Segue.
So just to finish the story, I wanted to tell you guys, I never spoke to those guys again. Like none of us have ever gotten together.
How many years
never
ago was
spoken
this?
again. This was 2000. This is somewhere around 2005, I believe.
This is why you have Spike Nation. There's
Anthos.
there's like 3 or 4 other
little...
musicians there. Join them.
Right.
It's been a little too long, and I think a reunion is due, and it's due on the Spike Nation podcast. Yeah. So I'll go contact Whoosh Boogie, and we'll get this thing worked together. So Trent, let's go over to you because we're always interested at what Mr. Ironworks has to say
Ironworks.
and what he's up to.
Well, first of all, Lexi, let me give you the quick thing. Lexi, I haven't put out any videos in a couple of weeks because I'm actually working, helping a friend of mine at the Georgia Renaissance Festival. For the past week, I've actually been in Hotlanta, Georgia, building a pirate ship of all things. I've actually come back home for just a little bit to get some stuff set up, and then I'm going back up, and I will be at the Georgia Renaissance Fair as a pirate for the next couple of weeks. So there is some video I'm going to try to get done before I go back up of the airboat that I promised, so that's coming out. But there's going to be some footage of us at the Renaissance Festival, so there's going to be some pictures of some corsets and some boobs. So it will be worth the wait.
That's the best part about going to the Renaissance fairs. Well, those corsets and some boobies, you can make the most unattractive girl look really hot if you put her in a corset and just have her serve beer.
And here's the biggest thing. You got to understand that for like the past 15 years when I've traveled and done these shows, when I go to these shows, there's no women where I live who are my age. There's just, there's nothing down here for me. So I go off, and there's suddenly boobs everywhere. But the problem is when I'm at a show, I'm there for business. So there is no touching.
You're playing a pirate.
Well, that's the thing.
Come on, I would work.
This is what's so
this
different.
Into his character.
For the first time in 15 years, I can touch the candy that walks by because I'm not there as a demonstrator. I'm not under contract.
Right.
So
there by a fucking whiskey rum drinking pirate that gropes teenage girls.
Oh, it's going to be good.
I love it,
it's going to be good.
Please take plenty of video for us.
Don't worry, brother. I'm going to have it.
He's doing those like voyeur videos, looking up on girls, like with the camera, like in his like waist, going, "I'm not recording you."
Anthos can do the music for it, and you have a
That's
whole
right.
new show. The Adventures of Trent the Pirate.
Pirate bitches.
I'm gonna have Anthos in the back. I'm gonna make love to you, woman. I'm gonna lay it down by the fire.
I might already have that song.
You took a turn down racist street, Trent.
That is classic Isaac Hayes. What the hell are you talking about?
Right.
Look, I made the joke about him sounding like Barry White as soon as we started the podcast.
Nah, his
So
voice is...
you guys talk about how I have a nice voice. You guys sound great together. I just got to tell you guys.
Well,
You guys
thank you,
somewhere
Anthos.
with this little team that
Thank
you
you
guys have
so
here.
much. You know what it is that I think that maybe it's not our voices, but it's our love for each other. You know, I really do. I really do like talking to Trent every week.
Perfectly fine and heterosexual until 40 heads off.
There's nothing
down the gay rainbow.
There's nothing wrong about 4 men getting in a hot tub and experimenting with themselves.
Yes,
right?
Sometimes
Actually, there is something a little wrong with that.
Well, that's how the band broke up. That's the real story about how the band broke up.
Anthos, this is why white people creep me out. You know, everything is fine. But these are my fucking people. This is the shit I have to put up with, and I know how creepy they are.
You think
That's the best.
I never thought if I had to do a podcast, it'd be with Bannik. You know, it's 2012 douchebag winner of the year. Turns out he's one of the nicest guys I've met.
Right. I knew that he was, though. I knew a long time ago. I knew he was one of those guys that was just misunderstood.
Yes,
Listen. He just loves the attention. That's all.
It's not the attention. It's just I like pushing people's buttons because I know you get the real person out when either they're at the most extreme.
When they're really angry at you, Ben.
Exactly. You get to see the real person. Man. You get to like the whole grotesque thing with me being sexist or something like that.
Grotesque.
Well, that's true.
He's another guy that everybody hated him at first, and I knew that you know
he's a nice guy. Yeah, he's awesome.
Like him. Yeah, he's one of my favorites.
Well, you know what it is? Just you can tell when people genuinely care about the website, and whether or not you disagree with them in certain comments we've had. It just
he's just one of those no bullshit kind of guys. He's just
can't knock a guy that posts like really interesting comments and always posts very credible videos on the website. And you can't knock anyone that commits himself to the website, and that's why we're here. And that's why we have this podcast, and that's why Anthos posts his music here, and that's why Ironworks does what he does, and we all love it.
That's right.
Well, guys, this is going to wrap up episode 11 of the Spike Nation podcast. Anthos, you gave us a song, so that's going to be our exit on the Spike Nation podcast. I want to thank you ahead for that. Remember, guys, you can see everything Trent's doing at PurgatoryIronworks.com, and make sure to always check Spike Nation for his latest video. You can always find Bannik at SpikeNation.com, posting lovely comments on every video that usually gets posted.
I'm the comment king.
How do you get a podcast on iTunes? You guys got to do it.
It costs money, and that's definitely not fucking happening.
Let's make a fun for that one.
Wait. How much?
Well, we can talk about it after. I don't want to get
into it. Why not let everybody else in the audience hear?
Well, because I got 20 seconds.
Damn it. All right. Fucking sound engineer, for fuck's sake.
40 licks for Trent, Anthos, and Bannik saying goodbye.
Bye.
Later.
Bye. Sound engineer.
I'm running so fast, off to nowhere, trying to get to you. Girl, what am I to do? I'm running so fast, off to nowhere, trying to get to you. Girl, what am I to do? You seem to be the girl of my dreams, but the way things change, it seemed to be that you forgot all the good times lent, never negative, was a good time spent. Late night to get the week got bent, at the end of the night together you and me went on our own. Though we both roam by the time the club closed, we know we gone home to the same place, around the same time, never tripped on your game, no, you didn't hate mine. No need to search to find. You provide all the things I never look for, a peace of mind. Then disappointed when I see you drift to a do with weak game, offering gift. Made you forget, had your soul on lift. If you gave it 2 thoughts, you'd be like, he ain't shit. I'm running so fast, off to nowhere, trying to get to you. Girl, what am I to do? I'm running so fast, off to nowhere, trying to get to you. Girl, what am I to do? Now I got this other chick straight spinning the wheels, telling she feeling me. Straight head over heels, simply fine, got mine. Peace of mind is what I get when we kick it. Profound words, metaphors, verbs, funny type shit, spit like honey drips from her sweet lips. This chick's a trip, loves to get high, rarely takes a sip. Now I'm forgetting chicks I've hated, no longer jaded, drinking less booze so I'm not faded. She tied down, made it and I hate it. Can't stop thinking how my family wouldn't take it. I just roll with the good times. If I hang in there, maybe I would find forbidden peace of mind as we recline side by side. As I listen to the bad times, act into memories of the past. Point out the qualities from mind to ass. And we serious, other times a gas. Though this is cool to me, wonder if it lasts. That's it, that's it. I'm running so fast, off to nowhere, trying to get to you. Girl, what am I to do? I'm running so fast, off to nowhere, trying to get to you. Girl, what am I to do? I'm running so fast, off to nowhere, trying to get to you. Girl, what am I to do? I'm running so fast, off to nowhere, trying to get to you. Girl, what am I to do?